Hi viewers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we have Emily Dickinson, and in this session let us interpret her famous poem Because I Could Not Stop for Death, a poem written by Emily Dickinson 1830 to 1886. Let us see in her poem what she has to say about the death, the concept of death. Let us see it. In the first stanza, Emily Dickinson, in her poem, Because I Could Not Stop for Death, this is not only the first line, it is the title of the poem also. Because I could not stop for death, he kindly stopped for me. The carriage held but just ourselves and immortality. In the first stanza, what the poet is stressing upon, because I could not stop for death, I, the narrator, the poet herself, she could not stop for death. No doubt, not only the poet, nobody else also will stop for death. He kindly stopped for me. He, death himself personified, kindly stopped for me. Very gentlemanly, like he stopped for me. The carriage. So he has come in a carriage with wheels, held but just ourselves. Ourselves, the speaker, the death and immortality. Immortality, entirely a different abstract idea is also the poet is introducing here. So in the first stanza, the poet has not stopped for death. It is also possible that her time is up where death has come in search of the speaker, and he is taking in his carriage the long journey of to the eternal journey, the death taking the soul away from the body, that part. Second stanza, moving further, we slowly drove, he knew no haste, and I had put away my labor and my leisure too for his civility. Second stanza, we, once again we here, speaker, death as well as immortality in that carriage. We slowly drove because he knew no haste. He has a lot of time now. Concept of death. He is not hasty. He slowly drove the concept. And I had put away. Very interesting. The speaker had put away my labor and my leisure too. So labor and leisure, she don't require all that humanly qualities, because she is already departed from this earthly pleasures and responsibilities. My labor and my leisure too for his civility. He kindly stopped for me like gentleman, and what I have done from my end, labor and leisure also I left, and we slowly drove that journey. So in the first two stanzas, the poet is concentrating on death coming for her, stopping for the speaker and taking the speaker in that carriage, and along with immortality, these three are making a journey. A journey started now. A journey began. The concept of death taking the soul from the body and taking the eternal journey towards the eternal concept is being introduced. The speaker, Emily Dickinson, is giving us this particular in these two stanzas. Next, further, stanza 3, speaker is continuing. We pass the school where children stroll at recess in the ring. We pass the fields of gazing grain. We pass the setting sun. So the poet is introducing a very interesting, very important thought also here. We need to understand as a student of literature. We passed, we once again that same speaker, death as well as the immortality. We passed the school. School, it is a childhood memories. Very interesting. It is a childhood days. The poet, it is a reminiscence. The school where children stroll. Stroll is a verb being introduced. Very interesting now. Emily Dickinson, intentionally she has used stroll. Stroll also can be strive. So in our everyday life also we need to strive for betterment, strive for success. So now what the children are not playing naturally, they stroll. They are deliberately, they are trying hard. So it also is a important, symbolically the poet is trying to tell that in our life also, everyday living, we need to strive hard, we need to work hard. That is the importance of, that is the main motto of everyday living. Children stroll. So it is a reminiscence. Further moving, at recess in the ring. So there is a break in the ring. Ring concept is being used here. Similarly, earlier carriage, where the wheel concept is there. Ring also, it is nothing but life and death. Poet is no more now. The speaker is no more now. But all the other activities are happening. Nobody is bothered about anybody is dead or not. So in this world, the poet is trying to introduce that life and death exist, juxtaposed, coexist. Okay. Ring, we pass the fields of gazing green. Very interesting. Gazing green. Grain is also, that every year, grain. There will be harvest season will be there. The food, it will be yield will be collected, and once again it is considered death, but it will once again come back. So the life and death concept. Then we pass the setting sun. So setting sun, it is also possible that the speaker has come to the fag end, and it is her old age also. There are three important images: school, childhood, as well as grain, which is the growth part, and then setting sun, the old age part. So all these three images are being highlighted here. So the poet is telling that the journey, in that journey with that carriage, that wheel concept, ring also, life and death is being highlighted. So the school, where childhood memories the poet is recollecting, or death is taking the speaker back to her childhood days, that one part, where the children are striving, working hard. Then the fields where gazing grain, field, the yield, gazing. So even it is awestruck. So the gazing, these grain, field seems to be, they have stopped all their activities. They are looking at, awestruck, shocked, shell shocked. They are looking at this particular journey of carriage, death, speaker, and immortality. Gazing, looking. That is also very symbolically the poet is using. We pass the setting sun. Setting sun is also the last stage of one's life. So it is all, it is the poet is accepting death, that part. Moving further, next stanza, or rather, he passed us. This is also very interesting. So sun can be the horizon. See, children's school can be the actual this happening. Similarly, field, the earth part. Then setting sun can be the horizon, where the speaker, she has already left her body, and like a soul, she seems to be moving with the death, that's part. Next, rather he passed us. Very interesting. So sun remained, he passed us. That means what? Already they have already left that horizon and left the sun and moved away towards the eternal journey. The dews drew, quivering and chill. Now this stanza, it is almost like the speaker is no more earthly, human. She has changed herself to a spirit. See, for only gossamer, my gown, feminine, okay, female, that part. My tippet only tule. So it also tells that the thin garments, whatever she is wearing, silk clothes, that is being highlighted. That means what? She started to feel almost she has become a spirit now. That journey, eternal journey has started, and she is no more a human, and she has become a spirit, and continue with her journey towards the infinite. Moving further, the speaker has taken us into her eternal journey along with the death. We paused before a house that seemed a swelling of the ground. The roof was scarcely visible, the cornice in the ground. This is very interesting because now the speaker has come to a stage where she is looking at her own grave. We paused before a house. So she is not calling it as a grave or a tomb. She is considering it as a house, where she is going to dwell. She is going to remain forever. That seemed a swelling of the ground. A swelling of the ground, it is very clearly, it is symbolically, as a reader, student of literature, we need to understand the carriage, the death, along with immortality, where she has been taken, the speaker. Death has taken to a spot where she is looking at her own grave. That is interesting part. The roof was scarcely visible, the cornice in the ground. So the tomb or the grave where she is going to live eternally, permanently. Okay. Then coming to the last stanza, it's very interesting. Till now, whatever we discussed is in the past tense. Now this is the interesting this. Since then it is centuries, and yet feels shorter than the day, feels present tense. Now the poet has, see this present and past, she jumbling, and this is the last stanza makes us to understand that since then, okay, it's centuries, and yet centuries, hundreds of years ago. So it is a reminiscence. The poet so far whatever she has discussed is about 100 years before the dead and departed, explaining about how her journey started. Since then it's centuries and yet feels shorter than the day. So in the abode of the God or the eternity or the unknown world, the centuries, hundreds of years looks like feels shorter than the day. It's a matter of a fraction of a second. It will pass. Okay, it is something into the unknown. We speaker has not given us the details and it is abstracted, yet that makes the poem more beautiful. I first surmise the horses' heads. So once again the alliteration, H, the sound. I first surmised, felt, word to word, the eternity. So the poem comes to the last part of the stanza is eternity. So her journey started because I could not stop for death. He kindly stopped for me and along with immortality continued that journey, and finally what is that? Toward eternity. So the mortal soul making a journey towards eternity is the total poem. So death kindly stopped and he is not in any haste. Okay, and the speaker has left labor and leisure. This is very interesting, important. It is also possible that labor and leisure, humanly, the possession or the responsibility, she has left. Speaker is accepting death. It is also possible that as a student of literature we need to understand that. Then we find in the next stanzas we find three important images which the speaker wants us to understand. The school concept. School, children strove. Strive, that part. Deliberately the poet has used the verb. In school concept, childhood days of the speaker, where children strove, and the ring concept is also nothing but the childhood life and death concept. That is also highlighted. Then grain field, another image is being highlighted. Grain field, it is nothing but life and death. You know that every year we will harvest, we'll cut and we will collect the yield, and once again it is a death. Similarly next year once again grain will come. So after life death, and after death life. It is a circle, life and death, the cycle, the circle. Speaker likes us to understand that. Then finally setting sun, important image. What it suggests, it is considered as an old age. Okay, it is also possible that with the image of setting sun, speaker wants us to understand that her soul is getting ready, her soul is leaving the earthly existence, because sun, it is the horizon, the sky, it has already, she has become a spirit in her journey. She has become a spirit and reaching the abode of heaven, sky, heavenly abode, where the infinite God exists. So it is nothing but death kindly stopped, and along with the death, the immortal, her soul started to make that journey. And three images, that is school, where childhood days being reminiscence. Then the grain field, intentionally the speaker is using to highlight the life and death circle. And setting sun is related to old age, or it is also possible soul leaving the earthly existence, reaching the abode of God, heavenly abode. Moving further, the important another image comes is the speaker, Emily Dickinson, she is trying to highlight on the concept of house, where she is going to dwell. Her soul is going to live forever. House is swelling of the ground. It is the grave. Indirectly, it is the grave. She is meaning. So after death, it is the grave where soul exists, remains forever. She is going to remain there. So it is the house. It is housing her soul, that part. Okay, and it is almost like in the last stanza, it is feels to eternity, and almost it highlights that the speaker's soul, along with the concept of death, it has reached the final destination, the soul. Okay, so with all these images, as a reader, what we have to understand is life is a journey. It moves on no matter what. Okay, what the poet is trying to tell, though has departed, she is no more. Grain field, children playing, sun setting, all these activities are going on. That means what? After death, life, after life, death. It is a circle, it will move on. So life is a journey, we need to accept that. And similarly, soul departs from the body and moves to the eternity, abode of God. This concept is being highlighted, and the speaker has used the abstract ideas of eternity, as well as the abstract idea of immortality, and these two abstract ideas makes the poem more and more meaningful. So the concept of unknown into nothingness. So what is the poet is trying to tell? The soul departing the body and moving to the eternity, the abode of God, or the unknown into nothingness is being highlighted. So the journey of what is that? Death kindly stopped for me, taking in a carriage, and the images of childhood days, image of setting sun, image of grain field. So all this highlights that the poet is consciously accepting her death. Consciously, she is sure about what is happening to her, and indirectly she is telling that it is a part and parcel of our everyday living. Whether we wish it or not, we will strive hard for reaching the success in our everyday living. But like life, death is also a part and parcel of our everyday living. We need to accept it and we need to move on. We need to move further.